Welcome to This Week in Sim Racing, sponsored by iRacing.com, April 29th, 2011 edition. I'm Darren Ganji.
I'm Tom Hackey.
And first up, we have lots of iRacing news, as a matter of fact, and we're going to talk about some World Championship Series races that took place in the last week. First one took place last Saturday on April 23rd, and it was the Road Racing Series. It was round 5, as a matter of fact, and they headed to Infinion Raceway. Klaus Kivikas was actually leading the championship points coming into this race by over 44 points.
That's a hefty lead.
Yeah, and that was over Jesse Niemanen, with Hugo Lewis in third and the reigning world champ Gregor Hutu all the way back and forth.
Not having a good season.
He hasn't won a race yet this season.
I was worried. I think everybody was worried that he was just going to annihilate everybody.
And he has not even come close. Luca Macier started on the pole with Gregor on the outside, followed by the Flying Finn Ilka Happela in third. It's great to see him putting in a good qualifying effort there.
Absolutely.
Macier stayed out in front with Hutu behind him in second and Niemanen close by in third. That was until the first round of pit stops, and Gregor overshot his pit, and that cost him a little bit of time, needless to say. But the big story was Niemanen got by Macier and stayed there for the remainder of the race. Macier would end up finishing second, and Gregor Hutu rounded out the podium in third. Klaus Kivikas had a great run, finishing right behind that trio in fourth, and remains the points leader after 5 events. But Niemanen has cut that lead to only 26 points after his third win of the season.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy, who is this guy?
I don't know.
He looks like a kid, too,
out of nowhere.
Gregor's now tied for third in the points with Hugo Lewis, and they're both 68 points back of Kivikas. Next round for the Road Racing Series is at Virginia International Raceway on May 7th, and make sure to check it out at iRacing.com.
And now I have the oval. The round 6 of NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship was at Richmond International Raceway this week for 200 laps and over 15 cautions.
Ouch.
Yeah, not a fun race.
Caution fest.
It was slow going on that track.
Yeah.
Thomas Hazard entered the race as the points leader with Ray Alfalla just 6 points behind him and Josh Parker 17 points back. The race started with Brad Davies on pole, followed by Alfalla and Derek Wood. The lead changed many times during the race, with Davies staying near the front until lap 101, where Davies would be involved in a wreck that put him out of the race.
Ow.
Yeah, not as bad luck right
Davies finished in second last season, too, so.
Alfalla would take his cue and remain in the lead for the rest of the race, using pit strategy to his benefit, and would wind up in front with Josh Parker and John Gorolinski finishing behind. Previous points leader Thomas Hazard would wind up in 6th for the race, allowing Alfalla to sneak by him just 4 points ahead in the championship.
Alfalla's been up there all season.
Yeah, and very tight. It's going to be an exciting championship. 2 weeks from now, round 7 will be at Darlington. Be sure to check that out on iRacing.com or PSR TV for the broadcast.
It's a Lady in Black, a track that's too tough to tame, man. I don't know.
After all those cautions this week, I'm worried.
I see 20 in that. I don't know, man. That's gonna be a tough one.
Drive carefully.
Next up, more iRacing news. Big week for iRacing, as a matter of fact. They just launched their new build. They're in between seasons this week. It's week 13. And before we get to the new build, they just announced a new partnership today with Thrustmaster. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And they're going to be giving away a T500 RS to the winner of the Mustang Series Season 2 Mustang Champion. He's going to win one of those.
I want to enter that.
That is a cool prize.
I would love a T500.
So, back to the iRacing build. Lots of new stuff in the new build. Extended hosted sessions, forum private message notifications. Anybody can join any practice session now, so D-licensed drivers can join an A-license level practice session.
Yep, that's cool.
The awards and certificates.
Awards. I love
those. Are pretty cool.
Yeah.
You and I were battling over who could get the most awards the other day. We were painting our helmets, painting our cars, and just to fill out those. I think I got up to 10.
Yeah, those are fun.
I'm a founder.
Oh, I'm not a founder.
If you started before October 2008, you're considered a founder.
Yeah, well.
And I was May of 2008.
But
so,
it adds a lot of personality to the Sims.
It does.
Really cool.
It definitely does. They added a live broadcast bar at the bottom now, so if there's a live broadcast going on, you can check those out. Car number preferences.
Car number preferences. I can finally run my 47.
I can run my 11. Only in non-official sessions. So if there's an official iRacing session, they're going to use your iRating number still, but lots of other sessions, hosted sessions, stuff like that, you're going to be able to use your own car numbers. Number 11 here for me.
And night road racing. So far just at Sebring and with a select few cars, but
Headlights at all the night tracks are going to be available.
It's intense.
New pit crew with damage repair they just added. Improvements to the physics engine. All the track surfaces have been redone.
Yeah.
So that's a really big significant addition. Lots of additions. We're running a little long here. Okayama. New Japanese,
So
our
much
first
fun.
Japanese track. That track is a blast.
Such a great track.
Lots of passing room, flowing, just beautifully done. Really cool track. So that's going to do it for the first half of the show. I think you got a quick mention, don't you?
Yeah, before I take it out, if you want some cool Gearhead or Petrolhead shirts like the Never Lift shirt I'm wearing, head on over to enthusiastapparel.com. They've got a lot of awesome stuff. We'll be right back after this.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Welcome back to this edition of This Week in Sim Racing, and that Legends pack we were talking about last week for Shift 2 Unleashed.
Yes.
Now out. Checking that out. The Flat Bug.
The Flat Bug. Yeah, the Shift 2 Legends pack. Cars from the 60s and 70s. Really cool stuff. Some Jag E-types.
And tracks, don't forget.
And tracks. The old school Monza.
Hockenheim Ring and a few others to round it out. But yeah, really cool little pack that they put out. I like to see stuff like that,
And
especially
hey,
going old school.
Are there easy ups at the old school Monza?
No.
Yes.
You know what? They really toned down the track, so really made them look old school.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. No word of a PC. They said they're going to do something for the PC. Who knows what we're going to get on the
we don't know
PC,
yet.
but nothing yet. Speaking of PC, on to Simbin and some Race 07 Retro Pack news. And we mentioned we'd have it on this week's show.
That's what we said.
Postponed.
But
just talked to actually a friend of mine, Mikkel, who works with Simbin, and I was asking him for some codes so we could check it out. And he said, you're going to have to wait a few days. Had some things that they had to fine-tune with the hill climb. You know, it's going to be the first hill climb track, and they had some things to fine-tune with that, and he said it's going to be worth the wait.
good.
So looking forward to that. You know what, I got to say something, though, about this. You know, it's cool that they're actually working on something, but I'd like to see something with a new engine. You know, they had rumors of this Lizard engine, and I'm going to tell you what I think the Lizard engine is. I think the Lizard engine was just a port to the Xbox 360. I honestly don't think that was any kind of new, and maybe the guys at Simbin can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I just, you know what, they're modding an old platform, and I'd like to just see something a lot newer.
Yeah, well, it's Race
07. Yeah, and it's 2011, guys, so come on, we want to see something new. GTR X3, whatever you guys are going to call it, you know, come on, let's get it out now.
Moving on to some Live for Speed news, a new patch has been released. They released patch Z30 and shortly after Z31. Now don't freak out. It doesn't have the new Scirocco or the new tire physics or Rockingham.
Speaking of getting with the program,
Yeah.
these guys need to get the program.
It's time for that new build, that new tire physics to come out, but they're not ready yet, so they're taking their time. You know, they've always had a
Understandably.
laid back approach. They want to do it right, and that's what they're doing.
Tire modeling is tough,
Yeah.
from what I understand. Not that I could ever do it.
No. If you read any of those articles, you know it's dark art.
Takes a genius.
But anyway, the new patch does include a lot of progress. It's got some improved collision model on unmovable objects. It's got new Shift U free camera movement behaviors. An increased number of possible autocross objects to 800 from 512. There's a collision detection and reporting system, which sounds a whole lot like iRacing. It's
Interesting.
like a 1x, 2x, 4x kind of thing.
Yeah.
Open track configuration, so you can have the tracks with all configurations open, so you can drive anywhere or create your own configurations. And some frame rate enhancements. Head on over to their forums at lfsforum.net.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go, the latest RSRBR patch has come out. If you're not familiar with what that is, it is the ultimate Richard Burns rally mod.
Yeah.
And they have compiled like a lot of mods from around sim racing and also made some on their own and have a front end that goes with it. And if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't checked Richard Burns Rally out, it is the best rally sim ever. Go to rallysim.com and you can download that latest patch and tell them we said hi.
Yeah.
Got some friends over there. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week in sim racing. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you check out our news section at our site at InsideSimRacing.tv. We got a button now that says Twizzr, TWISR. that takes you right to our new Twizzler site, or you can go, actually we got RSS feeds too. You can subscribe to the RSS feed right from that page or our home page. Make sure you register for our forums, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, we're always on there answering questions, letting everybody know what's up.
Yep. That's going to wrap things up. I'm Darren Ganji.
I'm Tom Hackey.
We'll see you guys next time.